Alrighty, today we're working on this hot seat pressure washer. I picked this thing up a long time ago. It needed a bunch of work. I got it working at one point. It needed a fuel pump, but it had an electrical fire last year, so I'm finally looking to get it fixed. So let's tear into this thing and see what we find. There, now I can work on this up in the air. I got an issue somewhere in here. Let's figure that out. So the wiring on this thing, it got hot one day and did some things it wasn't supposed to. So I kind of got to figure out why. Like what's supposed to be power and what's supposed to be ground. Oh, that was boiling. That goes to one side, that goes to the other side. Nice. I think we're going to be looking in the black box here just to see what's going on. Yikes. That looks like it might have got toasty too. Woohoo! More stuff got hot in here. Yikes. Ooh. I'll give you a little bit of a backstory on what happened here. I was just using it one day. I looked over and all of a sudden it was smoking very bad, and I disconnected the battery, shoved it in the corner, and here we are looking at it now. I don't know where that goes. Ah, right, that's gonna come up here to our control box. So none of this was really hooked up, it just worked. And I can't remember if anything's broken since then, if I moved anything since then, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at here. Huh. I don't think that's hooked up. Nope. Man, this is a wiring nightmare. Okay, so that's just a pressure switch. Yeah, so this is when you pull the trigger, it knows when to kick the motor on and turn the burner on. And if I remember right, I had that eliminated, so it just worked. That's just a relay, yeah, that's how it went. That's how it's supposed to be. There. And that just bypasses the switch, so it just works. I can't remember what's up with this. I think this might just float here, but this end should be wired fine. Not trying to figure out what everything does on the other hand. Not a clue. Worst part up here, I don't know which was power and which was ground. I always assumed this was power, probably, yeah. That makes sense being all burnt. Sometimes one of these is a bigger size, those aren't. Just assume that was going to be ground and this was going to be power. So this big unit here is nothing but power, in theory. See, that's where things got confusing, because this side was ground. So that just goes over there. Oh, that'll go to the starter. This thing's electric start. Yeah, so one of y'all is power, one of y'all is ground, and you're all twisted together nicely. This just goes into the buzz box here. Okay, I'm gonna look at this for a bit and I'll come back. I got a bunch of wires pulled apart here. I think what I'm going to do, it's simple as power and ground to the buzz box, which give power and ground to the motor up here. I'm just going to put all that on a switch and see if it works. If it works, I'm not using the controls anyways. I don't really care. On is on, as far as I'm concerned. Let's cut all these wires out. Just bring a battery over here and I'll just run it right off it right here. Out of a jerry can, see what happens. If it fires up, then I know I'm good to go and maybe wash something. we got jumper cables hooked up on a battery. Why wouldn't you? Okay, well, it's working now. Cool. All right. So what I've got going on here, I've got every wire disconnected, just these two are going to the motor, and we're just going to see if it turns and does things. That's really cool. This should be working. 12 volt, yeah, constant duty igniter, so it's literally 12 volt and ground. It says right on it. We should in theory have fire. If I put these into diesel, we should get flame, so. One of those picks up the fuel, one puts it back. That'll be a little warm to run here, but it'll be fine for a few minutes. So we're looking for smoke out of the top, and we're going to be looking for fuel return here. Fuel is going to return out of this line. That's going to tell me the pump's slowing. So. Cool. Let's pull that trap out of there so it can breathe freer. Looks like a 10 mil. It's not hot in here at all. It's just that's just from the smoke. From the smoke down below, that is. Now it can breathe and not blow up like a bomb. Let's pull the fuel out of here. Now that we know it works. Okay, I like that the best. Wait, right far away from everything. Try this again. Again, we're looking for flame up here, not down here. Cool. Well, that works. Nice. Okay, well, it fires up. I guess we'll move it over there and hook water to it and try it out. That's cool. That's never just worked. That's awesome. This thing's all plumbed up for a water tank system, so I can pack it with me if I really wanted to. But it's old and it's worn out and it leaks everywhere, and electric start doesn't work. The heater quit last year. Water's gonna come out here, so we need to get a hose on this. We got the hose. I see its leaking problem hasn't fixed, but it still runs all the way through. That's cool. Let's see if this thing starts. I don't know if there's gas in it. Cool. It quit flowing, so I pulled the hose. There's some rust in there. There we go. That was all in the coil, I guess. Oh, it's flowing, that's good. It's all clean water though, so might be a blockage yet. Let that run for a little bit without this tip on it, but yeah, let's get some gas for the jerry can here. I'm hoping this probe just reaches the fuel. Okay, the water flow's slowed down quite a bit, but if I start it up, it should just pressure through. So see if it starts, see if it runs. This one I legitimately should check the oil in. And it's not over full or under full. Cool. If it's over full, that means there could be water inside. But they do design these guys to sit outside, so no mouse nests. Nice. Come on. Stay running. Oh, I bet you it's because of this. So what happened there is the motor hydrolocked, or the pump hydrolocked, because this isn't letting anything out. Oh, the crud in there. I think this hose kind of ain't no good. I'm trying to get it to get fuel, so I've resorted to this. Well, that runs. That hose is no good. Here, got another hose here. Hopefully this one's a little better condition. There's a chance this hose is plugged too. I don't know. Seems like it. Oh, there's some dust. Well, got a little bit of water. I'll let it run for a bit, see what happens. Okay, it's trickling at the end. Let's just start it back up and see if it powers through. Turn the key on. Let's get the wand on it now. Oh, really? I was trying to get this thing unplugged. I got the handle loose here and it's fighting me, but it's coming. I'm seeing it spit at the end, so I think the blockage is getting close. On the plus side, I found a hose that isn't leaking. That's cool. Zap strap the handle just so that it's easier on the pump because this thing's old. Here we're the next day. We got a hose hooked up and got my my truck over here. See if we can give this thing a wash. Flash this up and try it out. All of that leaking, that's always leaked since I got this thing. It still works, so I haven't worried about it. That pump's like $1,000 to replace. I bought this whole unit for about 500 bucks and I've had to put one fuel pump on it. It's been fine, so until that electrical problem. But we're gonna see if everything's fine. See if she starts today. Okay, so now that I've got this running, all I've got to do is hook my jumper cable up down below and we should have heat. I just want to let the motor warm up for a minute because you should run it at full throttle when you're heating. That gives it the most flow possible through the line. And if we run out of fuel, definitely working. I think it's too close to my trees and I think it's got too much fuel, but it's working. The line's not getting very hot. I wonder if I need to put that plate back inside. That wouldn't surprise me. Well, it's getting some warmth in it now. Okay, now the line's getting a bit warmer. I'm just feeling the hose here. Okay, that's not good. That was interesting. Well, that's working. Because it takes so long for this to heat up, I think I've actually got to put the plate back in there. Yeah, I don't know if that whole cone is worn right out or if it's just going to burn off, but it worked last year, so I guess I need new hose because that's the last of my good hose, I think. That's nice. So because of this being a hot water pressure washer, the lines need to be hydraulic hose, and this is like 200 or 300 feet of hydraulic hose that came with my pressure washer. It's all bad. All of it is rusty on the inside of the sheathing, so I get to buy some new hydraulic hose. If you use just regular pressure washer hose, I've got a bit in my metal pile here, I'll show you. So this is regular pressure washer hose. And what happens when you use it with hot water, see that? So that's regular pressure washer hose. Because it's not steel lined, it's just got steel belting in it. It can actually peel and the heat will melt it, and that's what happens. So I don't know if that's what happened to this one, but this one might just be old. But yeah, that's why you can't use regular pressure washer hose. Yeah, this thing was kind of idling high yesterday, so let's just turn the idle down on it. It's just a screwdriver right in there. That's better. Maybe we'll do a valve setter, or not a valve set, maybe we'll do rings or something on this thing one day. It's a little bit smoky when you get on the throttle. Could be valve seals, I guess, but probably not. My gate wheel, the bearings kind of fell out in it here, so let's this one's not bad, but this one's pretty bad. Let's try to pop that out of there. I got this crow foot thing. Hopefully I can just get in there like that. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, really? My brake clean can just fell. This thing was expensive too. I bet you that just broke that weld. Oh, isn't that nice? Can't wait to get my shop up. Oh, this one came. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, it's official, we're doing both bearings now. That fell right out, so. Oh, it's moving a little. There it is. Okay, so look at that grease nipple that goes in there. Obviously, I got lazy and never greased those ones. So maybe these will last longer if I pump them full of grease. You just want to tap on this outer ridge, which is just right here, just to knock it down into this hole. If you tap on this inner ridge, you'll blow the bearing apart. So. Okay, I've got a socket that fits over top of that. Cool. That went in a lot easier with the socket to hit it. This side should be as easy. Okay, so I actually had the wheel sitting on this guy just to hold it up so it wasn't putting pressure on that bearing. So both of those spin nicely. My bolt fits through it. Let's put it on the gate and then grease it a lot. I think what's been happening too is we've been tightening that bolt too much, so I'm gonna be careful about that. And we're gonna put a lock washer or something on this, so let's find something. So I've got lots of washers here and there. Hopefully I can find a big lock washer, because I'm sure that would solve all of my problems. Okay, so I found a rubber washer and a steel washer, so that should help. Sorry for the car noise, it's pretty loud with vehicles going by, but this should work here, so. Okay, and then on this side we're gonna put the rubber washer. Okay, if I pump that full of grease, that should do it. Squirt a bunch of grease into that, hope for the best. Oh, I got squirting out this side a little. So that tells me that we've reached its capacity, so hopefully that holds. Always a good idea to mark your gas cans. I just mix the gas in this thing. Two-stroke. Now with any luck, anyone that grabs this, they're smart enough not to be dumb. If you run out of fuel, you can siphon some out. Suck on the end of this hose, goes into the jerry can. Don't swallow it. That's what it looks like when you swallow it. Now, because of gravity, that will suck right down. Fill the jerry can for me. Alright, that should be enough. It's pretty heavy now. I went shopping the other day. Buddy went to the auction. Just unloaded this bad boy yesterday. Here she is. Okay, I got just an old battery I took out of the roller. So I'm just going over this thing, checking out what she needs. Probably needs oil. Yeah. That's gonna be tight. Looks like there might be oil in the pump though. Maybe not. Nope. So I was reading the instructions. This takes AW68 or SA30. So I might have one of these. That we got, and that's what we just siphoned. So we should be all right. If you can't read this, I can. Anyway, curious. So we're just gonna add fluids to this thing. It looks pretty simple. So the diesel's gonna go in here. Oil's gonna go in here. It's got electric start, and then like I said, the pump oil's going in there. I got my old crusty battery. Hopefully it works. I'm gonna plug that in. Everything should be Gucci. More instruction manuals. Cool. I'll update you when it's together. Find out what's in the goodie bag here. So that'll be for the foam wash and whatever. I got keys in here. This thing's got electric start too, which is cool. Apparently I got some nozzles to buy. Yellow, black. And the key goes right here. Apparently this bucket's got a hole in it. It's been in my shop, so now it's good, but it drenched my foot. I'll show you what I'm doing, I guess. Just filling the hydraulic oil on this guy. It just goes to that line there. Oh, overfilled it, whatever. Funny, it says don't overfill on it. Damn it, you can see it right there. It's at about this line here, which is like top of the bubble, but grab some nuts and bolts for those. Paranoia got the best of me. I'm gonna siphon some fluid out of the thing here. Yeah, it was over full. Glad I'm doing this. Hey, there we go. We're coming down in the sight glass. And there we go. And pull that out. It'll finish siphoning. All I did there, I made sure that sight glass is in sight. Just in case it's over full and it makes too much pressure and damages my pump or something. I'm not into damage. As we all know, start with the positive first. And then negatory. That one's in there. Oh yeah, look at that. These are good. Once they're running, they'll charge themselves, but you just got to get a battery in here so that it'll have somewhere to put the voltage. And it does help with the igniter and stuff. Okay, even before we put gas in it, let's see if it does things. Cool. Good enough. These little things are so annoying. It's just as simple as a rubber gasket that gets out of shape for just a few minutes, and then it becomes a nightmare for you. Be so careful with these. There we go. It's all the way in there, it doesn't leak fuel everywhere. It was leaking earlier. Okay, I got the wand set up, the hose hooked up. I thought it came with a 50-foot hose, but it comes with like a 10-foot hose. We might adapt my other hose to this one. Anyways, yeah, I got oil in this, in the motor, in the pump. Fuel is in it. Nothing's leaking. Andrew Cameron had about one of these, and his was leaking fuel all over the place. Mine smells good, so let's get water hooked up to it, because running these pumps dry is not good. So I'm gonna hook water up to it. Okay, I got the hose hooked up. Just gonna turn the water on in a second. I gotta fuel it up yet with diesel. Water on and try this. Just curious if it's... Yeah. Oh, that's nice. We got some rust from somewhere. Cool. Put that back up. So what I've always done is zap strap this handle. And the reason I'm doing that, zap strapping this handle permanently open, water's always going to flow. When you let off the handle, it surges the pump, and that's so bad for them. If you do this, water's always flowing, it's always on. When I say that now, I realize it's a hot water pressure washer and it's designed to turn on and off, but I'm just going to do this and let the thing flow for a bit. The flow. Okay, so first thing to do, I guess, is try to start this thing. We've got fuel on. There's choke on. I've got the wand over there with a piece of wood on it, so I can't go anywhere, so when it starts it's just going to shoot in the air. Should, in theory, start up and just get hot because I've got the throttle open. That was so stuck. Okay, we have water again. Okay, so I currently have no reason why it's not kicking on. It should just turn on. Okay, I'm dumb. I found a 120 plug, so we gotta get power up here. Okay, I got power. Let's try again. It's just an on-off thing. Is there a switch? Is that my switch? I feel like the volume dial is my switch. Nope. I have no clue. Okay, I don't know if it's just auction things or what, but there's got two wires going to this. When I plug it in, it just turns on. There's no off switch. This is my off switch, but it's off now and it just turns on when I do the thing. So I guess I'll turn it on, start the motor, and see if it gets hot. don't really like that at all, having to plug it in. But it does work. It's on a pressure switch, I guess. So my theory of having to keep the nozzle or keep the wand on all the time is wrong. It's just off this pressure switch, which, whatever, I hate, but got a year warranty, so what do I know? So I've learned two things. It is what it is with the power. You plug it in, it turns on, and when you pull the trigger, the burner starts. We're gonna go wash that. It's not that heavy at all. So the reason the blower's still on is because it's plugged in. I guess that just is what it is. I don't think it's, yeah, it's definitely not burning fuel right now. It's very annoying that it doesn't turn off with the key. It does work, so I don't know, I guess success. I wish it was the model that was powered by battery, but I guess that's all right. Whatever, it's cool. So the only thing that's really bugging me about this thing is that you have to plug it in. I really wish that it would just work on the battery. So that's how to fix that problem. This one doesn't plug in. It's got a battery. I've got it all set up. I got oil in it, gas in it. I've got diesel in it. I've got water in it. This is the first start. So this one's exactly the same. The only difference is there's a burner switch and there's, well, no plug-in for the things. Choke on. This was really stiff on the last one. Yeah, there we go. That's just getting the air out of it. That's why I like to start it on low RPM, so it's got a chance to purge everything. There's our water. Okay, let's see if it works. So first/second impressions, it's the same one as yesterday. The only difference is that this one has the burner powered by the by the battery down there. So when I turn this switch on, the fan turns on, and I've got this thing set to off right now, but I had it turned all the way up to 220, and holy, I'll tell you what, this thing works. I didn't know that this forklift was all one color. I thought the paint that was on it was what it was. Turns out it wasn't paint. This thing looks like $1 million now. That's so exciting. Now that I know this works, I'm very happy with my purchase. These aren't cheap. A friend of mine got this one for me, so it was just over 3,000 bucks Canadian, which if that means anything to any one of you, they're usually anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 for this Magna model. Yeah, I'm very impressed. It works fine. It actually came with oil in the pump on this one. I didn't have to add oil to the pump, just the engine. Yeah, it works awesome. Changes the color of forklifts. So let's keep washing stuff. I'm very happy with that thing. I've been getting dripped on for the last little bit here, and it turns out that fitting's loose. When 100 and what do I have it set at? That I had that set at 185. It turned itself up to 200, but yeah, when it's at max pressure or max temperature, this gets really hot, and it's dripping on me, and yeah, I'm getting burned. It already had the tape on it, they just didn't tighten it, so we're good to go now. I finally found my sunglasses too. I've been looking for them for, well, all day. I got that on there so much more. I keep I won't be able to unlock the one, but I don't really care. I keep burning myself on this stuff. It's freaking hot. Got a white tip. It's gonna be a lot better for this paint. Wow. Ow. That is hot. All right, let's keep going. See how that's a lot wider? That's gonna put a lot less pressure on the paint, and it might stay on the truck. This thing's working great. I'm very happy with it. First time I've had to fill it up since getting it home. I've got the excavator, the forklift, my side-by-side, and half of the dump truck here. Wow, pretty awesome. So, overall impression, again, so far it's just awesome. It's clean and well. I gotta make sure I stay far away from the paint because it'll peel the paint off. That's run out of diesel again, so go get more, and then I can finish washing this thing, and that'll be it for the night. One thing I want to mention, it's thirsty. It uses a lot of diesel. That tank's 20 liters. That's the second time I've filled it today. And I've washed my pickup, my Ranger, the Bobcat, the forklift, the excavator, and my dump truck here, and I'm obviously working on the roller. But yeah, it's thirsty. It's fine. I don't really care. I'd rather my stuff clean and nice, so it's fine. But if you're thinking about buying one yourself, keep that in mind. They do drink a lot of diesel.